Okay. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for joining us today to learn more about this opportunity in Tsawwassen. I really think that this is where you're going to find the best return on your investment if you're looking for a cash flowing property in the Lower Mainland. And today I've invited some of my team members at the brokerage to just basically share with you information on rents that you can expect in the area for both short-term and long-term rentals. And also give you an opportunity basically to just ask any questions that you have about owning a leasehold property and any details that come with that. So feel free to type in your questions into the chat box. I'll be monitoring it closely as we go through this, and we'll make sure that all your questions are answered. So let me allow me to share with you the screen that I have here today. So this is basically if you guys can see my screen, this is the sales package that I got from the sales center, West Coast Estates. It's located at 4789 Blue Heron Way in Tsawwassen. These are modern type of style townhomes, so flat roofs. There's going to be concrete tile on the exterior, so they're very waterproof for our West Coast weather. As you can see, there's going to be a number of townhomes that are going to be situated across from a brand new park that is being built in the community. So it's a great feature for anyone who's looking to rent this as a vacation rental or for families who are looking to move in. Like I said, there's a lot of actually employment that is available in the area. If you're looking at this as a long-term rental, there's Amazon is opening a lot of warehouses in the area. There's also employment from BC Ferries, and there's also Tsawwassen Mills right across the Tsawwassen Mills shopping center right across the way. So just to give you an idea of the price breakdowns and the differences for different units available. So we have row houses, which basically differ. They're going to be situated right over here on the back part of the lot. They come with detached garages, and there's just 4 units per building for row houses and no strata fees. So basically the only thing that these owners will have to worry about and cooperate on is the occasional, maybe repainting or replacing of the roof, which they can do basically on their own. Or strata can help coordinate that. Again, that depends on what the owners want. The row houses also feel a lot more spacious because they are duplex style homes. Especially if you buy the corner units, you're not going to have too many neighbors, and they're going to have a lot more space, both in the front yard and the backyard. This is kind of overview that this is actually a master planned community. There is going to be a big recreation center going in with a basketball court and an elementary school, basically everything that you need to live and work in the area. This is kind of a brief overview again of the layouts that are available for townhomes. As you can see, there are 3 level with a tandem garage. Very popular layout. Shoot. These days, sorry. Just clicked in the wrong place. Okay, there you go. And this is the second layout, so a little bit more spacious for townhouse type 2. And then of course also the 2 types of layouts for row house. The more spacious ones, the 1800 square foot ones, are located on the exterior, so they're the corner units, and then the 1700 square ones are the inside units. As you can see, these are some of the features. But it really, yesterday when we were out there with Natalia, or was it Wednesday when we were out there with Natalia viewing the pre-sale center, what I think really impressed me is that I go to a lot of pre-sale centers here on the west side of Vancouver, and I saw the exact same finishes as I see in $2 million homes in this townhome development. So that really impressed me. They're not really skimping out on quality. You can see the same type of hardwood. They're not hardwood, they're laminate floors, but they have all the same looks and finishes that people are paying $2 million for. And then here you're getting it for basically half the price. So I think it's a great deal, great opportunity. And I just wanted to see if you, I just wanted to share with you some of the experiences that Natalia and Arian have had in owning in this community already. As I've mentioned, we've already had some people who purchased units in this community and just share their experiences in renting out the units. Okay, so Arian, I understand that you've personally invested into this community. Can you tell me how many units you currently own and what size of those units?
Thank you, Alina. So, I own 3 units in the Paragon community, which is just opposite the Tsawwassen Mall.
Mm-hmm,
Um, all of the units are around 500 to 600 square feet,
mm-hmm,
uh, 1 bedroom and 1 bedroom den.
mm-hmm,
So, initially, I invested, there was an upfront cost of getting in the furniture, which costed 7 to 8 thousand.
mm-hmm.
But it was a good quality furniture, so that there is at least no issues for next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And once that's done, I set up cleaners in
Mm-hmm,
that area. I've been acquainted with a lot of cleaners in that area who are quite good with the service, and they are reliable, and they can quickly revert back and come and clean the apartments. So how the model works here is, I lease the units on $125 or $130 per night,
mm-hmm.
making a profit of 1500 to $2,000 per month after my mortgage.
After you mortgage your Wi-Fi, your heating expenses, and everything else. Is that, and as you mentioned, the cleaning fee is actually, this is something that some people ask me, is paid for by people who are renting the Airbnb, right? So it's a
Yes,
separate charge than the nightly charge that you have. And what about insurance?
insurance is, I would say, 100 and that's around $60 per month. So
Okay.
even after deduction of the expenses like utilities, heating might be more during winter,
Hmm.
but there is a good positive cash flow comparatively than a long-term rental.
Yeah. And these
So
are these are just one bedroom units. So you're getting
yes,
125, 125 a night for one bedroom units. How much do you think you can rent out these townhomes would rent out for per night?
these townhomes per night would be ranging from 250 to $350. During
Yeah.
summer season could be 350. West Coast Estates has their water park
Hmm.
just across this development, and there is a lot of incoming traffic coming from Victoria and the
Hmm.
island, because there's
Yeah.
nothing to do on the island. So there are a lot of visitors coming in who spend weeks just at the water park, and they need a place to stay, like big families of around
Hmm.
6 to 7 people. So these
Yeah.
townhomes are perfect for renting out on Airbnb during the summer season.
Hmm.
350 per night goes around, um, that's 10,500 per month for,
Yeah.
for for the summer months. And
Yeah.
even after all the expenses, there would be a good profit of five to $6,000. So that's a
Yeah.
very good positive cash flow.
Hmm. I understand. And what about the vacancy rate? That's another question that people often ask about Airbnb. Like, what percentage of it do you expect to remain vacant during the summer months?
Uh, as of now, what I'm seeing and experiencing, there is an occupancy rate of 80 to 85%. That means
Mhm,
only a few percentage of the time the unit remains vacant. And there are strategies which I have looked to minimize this loss of
mhm,
vacancy, is to switch the pricing to low. by this the unit at least gets vacant. It's not vacant and there is a break even. So that's how you can strategize and get a good price.
Mm-hmm.
While during winter months, yes, there are a lot of there is less traffic coming in into that area. There are people who switch and look for long-term rentals also, like even 4 months they come and look for 3 4 months. So you can get in touch with those people and you can lease it there. I personally have people who have leased it for 3 months also.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people and there are opportunities which come through Airbnb all the time.
Okay, perfect. Another question is, do you see much of a drop in the number of days that you can fill in the winter time? Does the vacancy rate go up?
I would say vacancy rate could go up. There can be a risk to that.
Hmm.
The only way to mitigate that would be either getting the rate at a break even, where there are more days booked by the guest and you make a certain profit above the break even, uh, or you can just look at leasing it through a different platform other than Airbnb for
Yeah.
3 to 4 months.
Hmm.
But if you look at a yearly average, the summer and the winter months, if you calculate, there is still more money made than other than the long-term rental.
Okay, perfect. And Natalia, I know that you have another great option too is to rent them out as just furnished rentals, right? For those people who don't want to deal with the hassle of, Airbnb, maybe a lot of turnover, a lot of people moving in and out. Natalia, what do you think that these units could rent out for as just furnished townhomes?
Yeah, there's a mall nearby, so people from the mall that works there can stay there. And basically, usually winter time, a lot of people come from Ontario, from Quebec, from any province where the colder weather.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have regulars that come, especially before pandemics, every winter for a few months.
Yeah.
They snowbirds, not to down south, but to Vancouver. So
Well, yeah,
such
especially
type
during a
of
pandemic. And especially during pandemic, you can't cross the border necessarily. You can't travel outside of the country. So we've seen a lot of pickup from in the local tourism, I would say, right?
yes. Also, vacancy can play with by the way of length of stay
Mhm.
and to minimize this that way. So
Yeah.
I can do that effectively, managing accounts for people
Yeah.
so that we can play with too and quality of tenants. Yeah.
Right. So what do you think is a reasonable rate to expect if you wanted to rent it out on a long-term basis?
Yeah, so for the monthly, you think it's also all depends, right? So
Yeah.
for one bedroom units, it could be anything from 18 to 2,500 a month for the
For,
really long term for locals.
for about 3 bedrooms.
For 3 bedrooms, it's I would say even similar rates like in downtown, right? Because it's a seaside. So
Yeah.
people that retiring, coming here to look for place to buy, all
Yeah.
these kind of clients will show up. Yeah. Ariane, what do you think about that?
For townhomes, I would say 3,500, 3,000 to $3,500, could be
Yeah.
even more, depending on the type of furniture and features you add in the unit.
Yeah.
Since we have Amazon and we have the malls coming up, there is a lot of corporate executives coming in that area. So if an investor plans to design the property and put in high-end furniture,
Yeah.
110% there will be good returns.
Hmm.
What
Okay.
I
Perfect.
learned, yeah, what I learned over the years with furnished rentals, the
Yeah.
best idea not to go in mind, oh, I only rent it daily, or I only
Yeah.
rent monthly, or only rent for a year, but to switch in between, go with the flow. And
Yeah.
that type of approach usually makes the best returns for the
Yeah.
units.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of, I put together this table. So I wanted to kind of quickly share it with you and see what you thought, whether these projections were reasonable. So, if it's say, for example, these units range from 840,000 to $870,000 per unit. So with buying it as an investment property, you would have to put 20% down anyway in order to obtain a 30-year amortization. I factored in $3,500 rent, which is what you would expect as a longer term rental. Let's be on the safer side, right?
Yeah.
And say that you just rent it out long term. What are you paying for property taxes, Arian?
So as of now, when these are pre-sales. So first year, the year you get possession, you don't
Yeah.
have to pay any property tax because that's paid by the developer.
Yeah.
Second year, you have to pay property tax. For one bedrooms, I'm paying $1,600.
Yeah.
So depending on the square foot, if it's a townhome, I think it would be ranging around $3,000.
Yeah. Let's put in like around $3,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's divided by 12 months. So there you go, updated. Would you say that $200 a month is reasonable for utilities, or would it be less than that?
I think 200 is fair enough.
Insurance 75.
Yeah.
Repairs and maintenance about $100 or so for, clogged toilets or,
Yeah.
random stuff that happens. And then vacancy allowance. So this would be fully rented, so I would put a very low vacancy allowance, and interest rate of about 1.5%. One thing that we have to factor in here also is management, so that would be 8%. So yeah, basically it fully covers itself with just a long-term as a long-term rental scenario. And as you said, that if you are doing the Airbnb and you say that you're renting it out for $7,000 a month on average, then
Yeah.
there's your positive cash flow of over $3,000 a month.
Yeah, just initial cost, setup cost of the furniture, which is quite recovered within the first 4 to 5 months of operations.
Yeah, right. So, quite a good return on investment, especially if you take into account the rate of appreciation. So I factored in 7% average return, average appreciation across the year. That's just 40-year statistical basis. What have you seen yourself, Arian? I know that you first bought these units when they just first started coming out. What did you originally pay for those one bedrooms?
I've seen 10 to 15% appreciation from last year,
Yeah.
and seeing Tsawwassen is under Metro Vancouver. There's still a lot of residential communities being built, and a lot of first home buyers are shifting towards that area. So I'm expecting another 10%, 5 to 10% appreciation every year in that area because that is still undervalued.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so as well. I mean, at the moment, they are selling these units at basically 20% discount to the market. I mean, in Tsawwassen right now, in general, for newly built townhomes, I'm seeing them sell for $1 million and above, or similar 1,300 square footage. So at the moment, you're getting a 20% discount on the purchase price, plus you're getting the increased ability to rent, because as you said, in this community there's no ban on short-term rentals, on furnished rentals and so forth, which allows you to capitalize on this investment much more effectively. I think where the future is going to be for this community, that difference in price is going to shrink over time as more people discover this community and this opportunity, and as we get more investment from international investors, because there is no foreign buyer tax in this community. I think it will attract a lot more people. So any questions? I just wanted to open up the floor at this moment and just get people to jump in. You can go off mute and jump in and ask your question, or if you don't want to speak, you can also type your question into the chat box, and yeah, go ahead. Any questions? Oh, one thing that I have to mention to you guys regarding the deposit structure. So what they're what they're asking for right now is they're asking 50%, 5% on signing, 5% within 2 months, and 5% within 4 months. So then you're putting basically 15% down within the first year. And the expected completion date for this complex is spring 2024, which is about 18 months from now. And like I said, at that point, you'll also have to pay the extra 5% down if you're buying it as an investment property, and also another 5% for the GST. I've also spoken to a mortgage broker today regarding how easy it is to finance these leaseholds. And basically, you can get both insured and uninsured mortgages on these. So if you are a first-time buyer and you're looking to put less than 20%, you know, like 10 to 15% on these homes, you can do that and get an insurable mortgage with CMHC. If you are an investor and you're looking to buy this with 20% or more down, you can put down that bigger down payment, get an uninsured mortgage, and take advantage of the 30-year amortization and lower interest rates. So, any other questions?
Is it freehold or leasehold?
This is a leasehold property. So basically what that means is that you own this property for 100 years, 99 years to be exact. Okay. Now the next question people ask me, what happens after 99 years? After 99 years, you have the opportunity to buy this land again. So you make another payment for whatever market price at that time is. Or the landowner has the option of buying you out at whatever the market rate is for that unit at that time. So it's very hard to predict what these properties are going to be worth 100 years from now, but those are the two options. There's not going to be any change to the terms of the lease during this time that you own this property. And the other important thing that I wanted to mention is that just because you put 5% today does not mean that you're fully committed to buying this property. So a standard term in the pre-sale contracts is that you have a 7-day rescission period. That means you can walk away, you can change your mind within the first 7 days. Why they put that protection in place is to protect the consumer. So during these 7 days, you'll get the full property disclosure statement from the developer. You'll have a chance to review the full terms of the lease. And if at any time you're unhappy with any of the conditions, you can walk away and you can get your money back. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you sell it before you finish?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can assign these contracts. I haven't gotten the full developer disclosure statement yet, but I will get more details on that, on what exactly the assignment clauses are. But yes, you can assign these contracts before completion. So fully assignable. Okay. Any other questions? So it's just that these are selling fast. If you guys are really interested in this, I would really encourage you to basically let me know which floor plan you're interested in, whether you want corner unit or inside unit, and put down a deposit to hold the property because at least that gives you time to make up your mind. If something happens within the next 7 days where you decide that this is not a good investment, then you can walk away. But at least you have the opportunity to fully explore this and make up your mind. Aryan, just from your personal experience, any other things that you would suggest that investors need to be aware of if this is the first time that they're getting into Airbnb type of rental?
I would just say that having local contacts in the area make sense and help the investors. So either you hire a management company to manage the Airbnb, you can manage it yourself. There's a bit of headache. You have to go in every week and stack up the inventory.
Mhm.
That is paid off well when you look at the positive cash flow. So there is some work which has to be done, and there has to be ongoing handling of guests. So if the investors aren't ready for that, then they can hire a property management company to deal with the Airbnb guests and the inventory, and there'll be a management fees. Even after the management fees, there would still be positive cash flow.
Yeah,
So
as you
there
can see
are,
here, that there's
yeah,
quite a handsome profit to be made
yeah,
on these properties. And also, if investors, for example, if you've never furnished up an apartment, if you're wondering where to get a good deal on the table and a couch, once again, I wanted to point out that we have experienced staff that can help you do this. There's a small fee, like a 20% charge that's involved, of course, in just arranging everything, but you're still going to get a great deal, and it will cost you around $12,000 to $13,000 to furnish up one of these townhomes fully and rent it out. And once again, what you're doing today is with a 5% down deposit, you're locking this opportunity down, and you don't really have to do anything until this unit is complete in 18 months. And once you are ready to start renting it out, at that time we can take a deeper look. It gives you a little bit more time to save up for that furniture, for that GST. But the important thing in the meantime, you're going to have the advantage of any appreciation that happens to the property in the meantime. And I think that there's going to be more demand. Like, frankly speaking, 18 months, 24 months down the road, you end up buying this property, I think that you're going to be able to benefit from the appreciation quite a bit, because like you said, people are just figuring out leasehold. A lot of people for a long time, they frowned down on leasehold. They're saying, we want something that we can own forever and ever. But in my mind, 99 years is good enough. For us in Vancouver, as real estate investors or as property owners, we might be like used to the idea of owning something for an eternity. In fact, we really don't, because the moment you default on your property taxes, guess what? The government takes back your property. However, in other parts of the world, in Asia in particular, like I've lived in Singapore for a while, the idea of leasehold property or of leasehold ownership is not that foreign. So in fact, many people in Asia are very familiar with it, and are very comfortable investing in these type of properties, because 100 years is more than the average human lifespan. So your ability to benefit from this property, both in cash flow and appreciation, is definitely going to be there, because you're getting in at the very start. You have 100 years to benefit from this property. And then when you're finished with it, whether you decide to sell it in 25 years from now, 5 years from now, you're still going to have some gains, which is, at the end of the day, this is what you need to do, right? In order to make a smart investment, you need to know what you can get it in today, what kind of return you can get ongoing, and how much you can sell it for when you're ready to move on to something else. Any other questions? If not, then I guess I'm going to thank everyone for coming out today. We're going to have this video available if you came in on the tail end of this presentation and you didn't get all the details, or if you want a copy of the spreadsheet, I'll make sure that it's available. We'll have this video shared after the session. So if in case you know anyone who's interested in this property, in this opportunity, or you have friends and family who are interested, you can contact all of us today. Our phone number, our best way to get a hold of us is on our website, fsbc.ca. If you're interested in getting more details on how to manage these properties, feel free to get a hold of Natalia and Aryan. Natalia, what is your phone number? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
778-317-6393.
Yeah.
And number is also on our website.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? If you can just type in those contact details into the chat box, that would be great. And then people can just take care. There you go. So if you guys, and my phone number, of course, just going to type it in. If you want to tie any of these units down, or if you want to speak to me later today about coming out to the sales center and taking a look at the site and the presentation center there, I'd be more than happy to take you guys out and make an appointment for that. The sales center is open 12 to 5 every single day. And I'm in town this Vancouver, lovely, rain Vancouver weekend. So if you want to come out and take a look at this community, please give me a call. I'd be more than happy to do so. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Natalia, you've recorded this meeting, right?
I hope so. Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.